Hello, traders. Dale and Mike show Thursday. We're going to give you a feel for what's happened this week, what we were talking about on our live streams coming into today. Mike, how you doing? A little gravity today. Sir Isaac Newton, law of gravity taking effect on mainly tech. NASDAQ a lot weaker than everything else. Getting this dollar bounce that I called for.
Yes,
I think we're going to,
problem.
maybe go to par 50. We're right there. Just want to show you that this is a major breakdown here, and maybe we're on the verge of negating it. But the dollar should run into trouble. I took profits on my short euro. The short
Okay.
pound was the better one. Um, Getting ready to look for shorts in yen. From 138, I said I think we could trade 141 or so. I think this is going to be a failing rally. I'll see what happens over the next couple days. Put out a sell in silver. Thought that we'd have some trouble up here
Great.
above 25, and just did a day trade. And gold, similar situation happening here. Even a more negative day in gold, and the rally wasn't as dynamic. So, it's my take that maybe by early September, we're going to be able to be buying the gold all the way down here at 1800 or lower.
Wow.
Okay. And that's
Okay.
part of it's going to be a dollar rally. And the question I've asked people today is, if this was such a big breakdown, and the dollar is kind of the fulcrum of the wheel, it's what everything else spins around.
Wow, look at that.
If this was such a big breakdown, look at this candle. Why was there no follow through this week after a big breakdown? And we're testing it here. We start getting a few closes back above par and a half. You're going to have to say this is a breakdown failure. And the pound has definitely showed its hand to be the weak sister, as euro pound exploded to the upside. Look at the week it had. So this is saying that euro's holding up better than cable.
Nice
So
looking. Yeah.
on rallies, cable's the preferred short. So that's pretty much the rundown. Uh, Apple's holding up the best. Looks like it may have had some kind of exhaustion. How was the volume yesterday in Apple? They came out with, all the company has to do now, Mike, to pump their stock is make a statement about AI.
Well, the question when I was on my hike yesterday afternoon, midday, and I got a call from you. So when you
Yeah.
could get a call from a trader, it's either something happened, you know what I mean? So in the call that I got, and you could see it via all our social media out on TradeGate Hub, was I think that Apple had an exhaustion gap, if you will. And the reason why I reiterate what you said, or what I think is the reason why, is because it was a lot very similar to the Microsoft news that had a couple of days ago.
Yeah, that was here.
Apple, and the bottom line is this: it didn't
That
matter
was
if it was.
this.
That's correct. This
Yeah.
is eerily similar.
Yeah.
But the answer to your question, which would edify my, it's not really opinion. I'm going by, it could be Apple, it could be it could be COP. Is that the volume yesterday was almost twice as normal?
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yes.
that's a reason for everybody to say. Now, granted, okay, it had a little nice day today. The market is weak. They're running to mega. It's just not
Yeah.
Apple still it's still down, but they're running to mega. Is it still down? I believe. Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
down, but they're
Yeah,
running to.
but barely.
Well, it's Matt. Listen. The other ancillary stocks that have been following the second part of this train, like a Unity Software, is down 8%.
Well, look
got
at
an elevator
AMD.
up. That's an elevator. Well, that will be called. By the way, and I said on TradeGate Hub, your calls probably looks like it's really going to come. At least it's coming to fruition. I don't know about
It
that one,
may.
but certainly looks the par would be. I mean, the gap at least. Probably it's going to
Yeah.
go below that gap.
NVIDIA better hold today's lows in the next few days, or that opens the door to under 400. So that's changed too. I mean, when's the last time the market would have a blow off week without NVIDIA making a new high?
No,
That happened all week.
okay, let's talk about something for a second.
Okay.
There hasn't been any major. Listen, we can go into TGH. Obviously, you've been very active. I need look at how active I am, coach. And the VIX made this little pop. You know what I mean? You know the peanut. So what I'm saying is, uh, a lot of stocks need to. I think of looking to rest. Microsoft is at the three. Is it 350? Let's see how
Yeah.
that holds. But there's still a place to run to, which is why the VIX isn't up a lot. They're running to a lot of industrials.
VIX is back up over this little trend line. I know it depends where you draw it, but the point I've been making about VIX is the S&Ps have been on fire, right? Going up, up, up. NASDAQ's been going up, up, up. And VIX hasn't made a new low since late June. So over a month of market strength has not been enough to take the VIX back down to new lows. And now it looks like it's trying to start squeezing some of the volatility sellers here.
Wonderful point. And I'm going to tell you something. I know the VIX is notoriously a good short on any pop, as you could just see, unless they really rip you. But as is a common phrase of mine, I wouldn't short it. So that's and that is notably especially when it's not even the chart, it's what's causing it to pop or base it that's why.
Is there still a lot of heavy volume activity in VIX? I mean, a week or so ago.
I haven't seen anything. There has not been. Yesterday, I'm going to tell you, the only thing that I saw, and believe me, it wasn't enough to even warrant it because somebody I think was trying to time it a little bit. Bravo, was the SQQQs. All right, so they made a little move, big deal. But what you want to see is
I bought them yesterday.
Did you? Nice.
So
all right. So what my point before I started this, it's becoming as I'm not distracted. So what's causing this? There hasn't been a lot of Fed speak at all. It's coming down to the catalyst has been selling the news, sans a couple of banks that were heavily under shorted, and insiders been buying. The majority of stocks, they're selling the news on any type of earnings stuff.
Goldman had some real bad earnings news yesterday, didn't it? I think the worst.
Look at Oracle. Oracle's now 4.
Yeah. So tech, I think, is more of the financials were all looking great when last time we talked on Tuesday, Mike. So I'm just looking for, I'm going to turn this over to you and maybe you could show us what Goldman's doing. And since as it recovered from, was it down sharply in the aftermarket? A couple other banks reported they weren't good earnings, but not as bad as Goldman's. So you have the screen now.
It's yet to be determined. I could give you a perfect example, and as a matter of fact, I will.
Netflix, did they bring that back after?
Yeah, no, we're gonna go. Listen, this is like I say all the time, Coach. You know this, and I hope everybody listens. Let them settle. For example, you could say that the JP Morgan, which was a blow off. This right here was that red candle it just as evidence is almost like the Apple trade. That was news, just like Apple was. The volume going into it was tremendous, and they tried to turn it around a little bit with the volume. It held the channel. Now it's breaking to new highs. I get it. Or the antithesis could be something like a Netflix. They ran it into the number. Okay, I get it. So now it's about how they close. In option sweeps that were bullish on the Qs, you have to see if they either want to roll them over or back them up, or if they're really selling them or buying more SQQQs. Like I said, this went from the penthouse. Now it's breaking not only the 8-day but the 21-day with volume. So that's another situation of.
How about Tesla?
Same thing, Coach. They're going hand in hand. These things they're going hand in hand today. It's the same.
Now remember, I said that's a 3 drive.
Well, the actual
Thursday,
the actual good one was Nevada, and that's what a position with Tony P took yesterday as via the call that I got.
But Tesla doesn't look bad either. That third drive in Tesla, that was pretty good divergence.
No, listen, like I said, it made a big move. Well, actually,
going back to 200.
Wait. All right, you know what? I wouldn't argue either way, Coach.
All right, there you see 200,
probably
220. There's downside. I actually think the highs we put in this week are going to hold, and we're going to see a lot of corrective action over the next 7-8 weeks into the fall, the beginning
Right.
of fall, which is late September. So
I mean,
the averages anyway.
the moves that you're seeing are everybody's not sure, and they're they're not sure on the rotation. They hop on anything. For example, J&J was down this morning. Okay, J&J could have very easily done something poor and could come down here, and maybe it would have settled at 153 and it would have been that bad and maybe filled the gap with J&J from under all the moving averages to pressure. Now J&J is breaking out.
One
Everything's
day, it all changed
same
in
thing with
one day.
Pfizer. Pfizer's coach. Pfizer was down literally like 30 days in a row. Pfizer.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Now it looks up. Now it looks a little bit better. So what else am I
Why are
saying?
they going to these, CVS you brought up the other day?
Well, the sweeps told you. It's probably
Yeah.
going on. And listen, it's probably going to back and fill.
Why are they buying the drugstores?
Coach, you back me. You're answering a question you know the answer to. Asking me. So you tell me.
Safety?
Well, why not?
Staples?
What are they doing in soup? It's freaking the middle of the summer. This thing's popping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's Procter? I haven't looked at this in a while. All right, that's ominous. So there's rotation. Charles Schwab held the gains. You know what I mean? Charlie Schwab. Chuck Schwab was the only one in the world that was buying stock at 45. Now it's going to back and fill probably. It'll yet to be determined. What else? A stock like Unity Software was holding up. It looks more than it is. Now a lot of these stocks, you have to be selective now. Maybe a lot of these stocks are programmed, even though it broke the short-term as you can see, 8-day at 45.70 probably goes to 45 strike price, if you will. But some of these stocks are programmed to either catch on the short-term moving averages or overshoot. So you got to pick. Riven, is Riven still good? Yeah, it's still okay.
Yeah.
That's the first one they run to. I get it.
That's such a bullish consolidation there. I mean, it's given up nothing in price, only moved sideways. That's pretty bullish. If there's ever a pennant or a flag formation that you want to teach people what they look like, that was it.
Let me go back, Coach. Okay. No, I understand. Exxon. All right, Exxon and Chevron. The reason why I'm not that heavy in the oils, but am I a boom? Am I actually Generation Xer? Am I? Are those Chevron and Exxon like IBM now? Which, by the way, I called it was going up today. Giddy up.
Nice.
So a boomer was right at that. So, but I see our RRC acting very well. This is going to pop. SM back and fill. I'm going to buy more today. A stock like ConocoPhillips acting better as opposed to let's look at Apache, not bad. Marathon Oil. The big ones, FANG, the other FANG, which is the leader, actually holding very well. So stick with some of the leaders. As I said, NE was a driller they kept taking up every day, as opposed to Halliburton, the big daddy. They took profits into that. So there's rotation within segments and low Y. Wow. They're even.
You not only have to be right the sector, you have to be right the issue in the sector.
Exactly. Google, I'm just getting pinged here, low of the day. Now that one's on the, that one right there. That's below the 8-day. Now that's in a triangle situation. The volume is light. But first of all, I wouldn't be a hero here because the volume does come the other way, which it looks like maybe, if Mega is holding and this one's a little weak, I wouldn't step in front of it.
No.
What else?
Could go 105.
Twilo. Thought I was a chump. So Twilo yesterday, where was Twilo yesterday afternoon? Was 69. Today, this morning was 60, 64. Twilo, I'm going to buy here if it dips at the 200-day, just because there's some option activity into it. Okay. What else am I looking at? Give me a second, Coach. All right, CF took partials today in the fund. You can't blame.
That was a great trade.
Okay, appreciate that. You know what? I sold in the fund. I didn't even get out of it. I might buy it. Thanks, by the way, Coach. Is Moss.
Okay.
I don't want to have it. It should have went. Yeah. Maybe it pulls a Johnson & Johnson, and because CF was strong, it has good news as it should, and it pops to 42. But you know what I mean? It wasn't active. Okay, hold on. It wasn't ribbon high today. It wasn't.
And you know what, Mike? What bothers me a little bit about the moving grains yesterday is that it happened on news, on
I
the
don't like it. I
announcement.
wanted to happen without the news.
Yeah, there you go.
And then I wanted to be in, and then for it to
Yeah,
cascade more on the news.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was a sell the news. Oh, it was a
yeah,
sell the news pop pullback.
yeah.
It's
And
yet
it
to be
was, but it
determined
was
because it,
vicious. I mean, wheat was up 60, 80 cents on that. That's a huge move for wheat. That looks Riven. I've been seeing you post about this all week.
I should. But you know what? But this is the bottom line, coach.
Okay, there's a flag. I mean, look at that
Look at
flag.
this. It doesn't matter what
Yeah,
your
and you
opinion
know what
is.
else? You have a breakaway gap from like 21. It gapped up into this flag.
Ooh,
That's even more powerful. That's a nice chart.
yes. What's para? No, you know what, coach? Para. I'm in Riven and I'm in a listen, I have, and this isn't short covering. The short's already covered. You know what I mean? The stock went from freaking
Yeah, they're blown
14.
out.
All right, so
Yeah.
they're okay, that's out. So now the options are just flying. I hear that Riven's going to be number 2 for Tesla, and that's my opinion. But my opinion's irrelevant because what's going on with price action, regardless if you're a day trader, a swing trader, or a long-term positioner, this has all the keys of doing something proper to buy on dips: volume, price action, and range. It's all you need. Either daily, swing trading, or whatever you're going to do.
You still
Uh,
holding on to gold positions, miners? I
GOLD
know
is the
you
only
lightened
one.
up a little bit.
The only one I sold 50, maybe 60% of the position on GOLD, which it was
Okay,
we
good
now
sell.
it
Good
wasn't,
sell.
well, you helped listen. I'm not, this is not Pat the coach on the back hour, but it was because of you. I'm not gonna lie. Go to Tuesday's video, today being Thursday. Uh and I had a lot of shares from seven. Listen, I had almost 6 figures of shares, coach. And by the
Yeah,
way, the stock came from, I know it's not where it's coming from, it's where it's going, but I
yeah.
had to lighten up based upon the moves and what the rest of the rotation was doing. I very could have easily added to this, and it could have very easily broke to the gap at 1825. But
Well,
now,
I
uh,
think we could try 16 again
well, okay, that's
and
fair
take
because
it out.
it's the only one I'm really in.
Okay. All right.
Planeteer gave some back. That was a closed on the low yesterday with volume, as you see here.
Yeah, look at the divergence. Yeah,
But bottom line is, this is the bottom line. Stock's trading 100 million a day. In the last 2 days, it's gone from 19 to 17, 19 and a, yeah, that's a nice range. Stocks don't
yeah.
move 8% like that. So
I'd
what
buy
am
a
I doing?
hard break because there's only 2 drives, which would imply there could be another one coming.
Okay. I'm buying some path long term, not gonna lie. Why am I doing that? I like, first of all, option activity, the right kind. Also, I believe the right sector, pulling back to not, I mean, it's well over the other stocks that we've talked about in terms of moving averages. It's coming in a little bit of low volume. It's holding accordingly. And I like the sector. And it's still one of these stocks that has a little juice in the punch bowl after making a move of something like a TTD that in 2 months went from 60 to 90. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. All right. Well, I encourage people to come in and check out Mike's process for stock picking
no,
because it's not just an index game anymore. And as you can tell, you could even be right the sector and not be in the relative strength leader. That's our philosophy here, is to
Coach, that's a
teach
real
you to,
good point. And
yeah,
thank you for pointing that out for me because sometimes they say I'm fast and furious, but you know what? I'm going to say something. If the VIX does get elevated, and I wouldn't argue with anybody, like I said, I wouldn't short it. Coach is very bullish on it, and I could see why. I'm long it too. Don't get me wrong. I'm just underwater because I protected my portfolio. With that being said, what we do is bring you it basically, the premise of what we do is basically threefold, and then we branch out from there. And it's up to you to pick your style, and it's based upon fundamentals and knowing yourself. Don't average down, trade stocks with volume. It's basically the reminiscence of a stock operator. Jesse Livermore's 20 rules that still are true this day. But our job is to
they're timeless.
they still are. Money management, know yourself as a trader, don't buy long positions, stay with the trend. I mean, what I'm saying is the VIX is going to pop a little bit, be in the room. This is what we do. And as I say before, and I say it to be facetious to a degree, but any comments, complaints, or suggestions that we can help, I'm not here, I got it down pat. It's up to me as myself to trade my system. Like I say all the time, I don't have a better system. I just know how to trade it after more than 30 years, putting my ego aside. So
Hey,
we're
look
going
at
to,
that comment at the bottom there.
that's why I posted it up. That's why I saw that. And that's why I wanted
Oh,
to,
Vori. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, no, very, by the way, very active and sharp, knows what's going on. He noticed he or she noticed the action in the eggs right away. So with that
Okay.
being said, coach, and your chats and your live streams help me so much. Thank you. That's what it's all about.
The charts.
Coach and
Yeah.
I, believe me, this is a free site.
Hey, yeah.
You know, we're
Yeah.
not in, we trade our own money and or firm's money or a fund, if you will, coach wise. So we're not in it, you know, what we do here is not going to put us in a different tax bracket, but hopefully, you know, comments like that and going through our TradeGate Hub and our YouTube channel will help you exactly do it out without over
You know what
promising.
else would speed up the learning curve for people? To post their ideas, even if they're fairly new. Because when you post, there's something about doing something publicly, and most people are afraid to, public
You're
speaking.
accountable.
They have a fear. Yeah, so you put out your best stuff, and you go, what, and then you
Coach, you
look
want to know
for.
something? Yeah, you want to know
Go ahead.
something?
Go
I
ahead.
can trade my own money, and I'm sorry to cut you off there.
It's all
Do you
right.
know why I like with trade views money? I like accountability. Accountability breeds responsibility. And if I'm going to do something wrong and be hypocritical, which we all do to a degree, I try to narrow that down because the trading philosophies are on, range and option flow and sentiment are timeless. I didn't create it. So I try to do the most prudent things and do the best things for everybody involved to get to that next tax bracket, or even lead some sort of trading lifestyle, either full or part-time. And we're here. We have 3,000 subscribers almost. We have 800 videos. We give videos every day, mostly 2 a day. And the comments don't stop. I'm in New York, coaches in LA. We got guys in Peru. We got guys in China. We got guys in Europe, Austria. So it's nonstop. We're here to bring you information, trades, and it never stops. And we're not going to stop. It's a free site. Get on a TradeView demo if you don't have a platform and get involved.
Yeah, I mean, financially, the only upside is if you want to, check TradeView out, decide to open an account with them.
Holy,
But if you're trading, you're doing that anyway. So it's just something to compare to what you're using, what kind of platforms they offer, etc. So start presenting. If it's not here, somewhere else, start putting your work up.
big. Oh,
And
yeah,
and
sorry.
I think that you're going to make breakthroughs because the feedback you get will help you learn. Don't just go around and follow people. Learn to follow yourself. Okay. Learn
Let
to
me say,
trust yourself. So, if you follow someone, you're dependent. Where you want to get to is to be dependent on no one, independent of everyone for how you enter and exit the market.
this is a
So,
charter boat. Okay. You're on a charter. We bait the hook. We throw where the fish are. We want to teach you how to. The bottom line is, you want us to catch the fish, hop on the boat. We'll give. What do you want? Fluke, flat. The bottom line is for you to catch your own fish. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And bottom line, coaches, I leave it here. Some guys going in some Apple November 175 puts. Big bet
Oh,
too.
how about that?
So
That's okay.
Alcoa, they're going into Alcoa
That's the
July. We
first
get
time
this.
you've seen Apple puts. And you know what? Gerard showed early in the week before that explosion in Apple,
Yeah.
Apple calls being bought. So he picked up on that sweep and then we had that, huge move intraday in
Where's that
Apple that got to
KDP?
98.
Look
So
at KDP.
so Gerard would not have been able to do that 9 months ago.
Well, he would say so, but Gerard would also know that KDP calls were ripping Keurig Dr. Pepper, G. We might
Yeah.
have to get in
I
this
like
thing. As
that's
he
a
asked me
nice
this,
breakout.
Coca-Cola, look at Coke. The other day I looked and it was
Yeah.
nothing. Oh, all right. So
All
KDP
right.
coach, they were flying with sweeps.
Yeah.
So Keurig Dr. Pepper, I don't know who's drinking this. I actually have a
I'm a
Dr. Pepper.
pepper, you're a pepper, everyone's a pepper.
Yeah, if couldn't you be a pepper too?
I could be a pepper. I'd like to, be in the Red Hot Chili Peppers
Just don't be a piker.
and be their lead singer.
I'd like to be the lead singer of Jane's Addiction, to be honest. I
All
don't know.
right. All right.
But,
Well,
I digress. Be in the room.
you and I are a legend in our own minds. So
Uh,
thanks again, Mike.
You got
Great
it, guys. We're
talking
going to
to you.
post what's earnings. There's a lot of earnings coming out tonight. We know what pin action, what drives it, because they're going to move. If not, stay light. It's more activity than usual. There's always another trade. Cheers.
Don't just count your pips, count your blessings.